It is your boyfriend on the beat.
What's up? What it do? And we back with it. We back with another video. Yeah, 2 times for sure. Out here working and keep going. We working, y'all. We working, like I said, we staying consistent. We ain't stopping. But we got a good video today. We got another video today, y'all. Got all y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. All right. All my newcomers, subscribe to the channel. Watch to the end. Also, my returns. You know what I mean? Don't stop watching them. All right. Let's keep watching these videos. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into the video.
In April 2023, a domestic violence call in the small town of Cyrus, Minnesota, escalated into a deadly encounter.
1 week, 6 members of law enforcement have been shot in our area.
Pope County law enforcement lost a brother.
Just after 7:30 p.m. on April 15th, Starbuck police officer Alex Olson responded to a domestic violence call from concerned neighbors. They had overheard a heated altercation between Cody Johnson and Brian Nygaard at their apartment, located on the 400 block of North Stroman Street in Cyrus, Minnesota. Cody later told police that she had been hit during the confrontation.
And he took his hat off his head and he started smacking me with his hat. And I kind of put my arm up in defense and, said, stop. What's wrong with you? Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. Get away from me. And he pushed me onto the ground. He punched me in the back of the head a couple of times and he started hitting me. He was on top of me. I was, fetal position trying to protect my ears and my face. I laid on the ground for several minutes and he was yelling at me and was very angry and came back and hit me a couple more times. And then I heard a knock on the door. I figured it was the neighbor because the neighbor always comes in or comes over unannounced and knocks on the door, and I open the door and it's a cop.
And again, I believe you're going to apartment number 5. He said.
Officer Alex Olson was the first to arrive at the scene. Shortly after, Pope County deputies Josh Owen and Brody Merrill joined to provide assistance. Body cam footage captures the moment they enter the apartment and engage with 34-year-old Brian Nygaard, the primary suspect in the case.
I didn't talk to him. I just got. So my partner's telling me I got to put handcuffs on you. Cool. I didn't talk to him.
Based off the information I have, and I'll let you explain your side of the story, but based off what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, I'm going to place you under arrest for domestic assault.
This is one thing too about being an officer, man. Like them domestic violent calls, I bet they be on edge because you just never know, you know what I mean, what's going to happen, because both parties always, like me watching these videos and like just seeing it, you know what I mean, and throughout life, both parties always want to be right, you know what I mean. If one party don't get what they want, it just pretty much it makes it worse on the officer sometime, most of the times, you know what I mean, especially on YouTube. When I'm watching these videos on YouTube, and I can sense in this case, oh, dude ain't going out, you know what I mean? I don't think he gonna go out without a fight. You feel me? That's what it's looking like. He gonna turn up because he know he's about to. He's going to jail for sure for putting his hands on her and everything. The way he did it, he's going in. But let's get back to the video and see how see what happened.
Okay. Well, that's for you guys to figure out in court. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey.
Uh-oh. What? It seemed like he was waiting on them.
Immediately after drawing his weapon, Nygaard began firing at the officers. Deputies Josh Owen and Brody Merrill returned fire. During the exchange, both deputies and Officer Olson were hit. Deputy Owen was shot 3 times. Deputy Merrill was struck once in the upper chest, and Officer Olson was hit in the ankle. What started as a routine call quickly turned into a deadly confrontation. Out of nowhere, Brian Nygaard opened fire, catching the officers completely off guard. Deputy Josh Owen was hit 3 times and went down, critically injured. Despite their best efforts, he didn't make it and tragically passed away at the hospital. His death.
But then but then check it out though. Like, look how close he was, the proximity he was. He was right on him. You know what I mean? And once again, in those moments, I feel like in those moments, those police officers, they wasn't thinking about that. You know what I mean? They wasn't thinking that he was gonna go out like that. They didn't. So like a lot of stuff that be going on just be so unexpected with officers, and then like they be really some officers, good officers, they really be putting their lives on the line for us just to make sure that the communities and everything else is safe out here. You know. And this is one of the cases right here where they're pretty much trying to make sure things were safe in the home from all this domestic violence, you know what I mean, that's going on out here in this world. And dude up the strap and then, like, you know what I mean, just went crazy with it and struck a few people. But let's keep going, y'all. You know what I mean? Let's keep watching and see what happened what else happened, you know what I mean?
Death sent shockwaves through the entire community. Deputy Brody Merrill was also hit, but luckily his bulletproof vest saved him. He was treated at the hospital and released, though the memory of that day would stay with him forever. Then there was Officer Alex Olson, who had a close call of his own. A bullet struck the pistol he had holstered near his ankle, causing it to twist from the impact. In a stroke of luck, the shot deflected, leaving Olson with just minor injuries. It was a luck.
Man! Do y'all see that, chat? Do y'all see that? So you telling me dude could have got his whole leg took off, but because he had a gun on the side of his ankle, support, man, protected his, man, that's so crazy, man. You talking about luck? You talking about luck? That is crazy, man. I bet he messed his ankle up though, for sure. The impact, I bet he messed his ankle up for sure.
Lucky escape in the middle of the chaos. When the dust settled, Brian Nygaard lay dead, shot multiple times in the intense gunfight. Meanwhile, Cody Johnson, who had been separated from the confrontation, was in the hallway. She heard the shouting, the gunfire, but wasn't in the room when the shots were fired. Scared and in shock, she ran to a nearby friend's apartment, trying to escape the chaos behind her. In her police interview, Cody shared that Brian had long been frustrated with life, facing personal struggles and feelings of injustice, especially from his past encounters with law enforcement. She recounted that Brian had begun drinking heavily, and this, combined with mounting stress, led to his violent outburst that night.
What's been going on in Brian's life recently? Like what's been going on with him?
Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform that replaces...
Anything notable? Has he been having troubles with anything, or have you noticed anything abnormal about his behavior, anything like that?
Not really. I know that he got a bad review at work for his annual, and it was super unjustified. But other than that, he didn't even really seem to take that. I took it more personally than he did.
When was that review?
2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, maybe.
Okay.
I know that they did it early, but it was supposed to be for his, his year anniversary of working, but they did it a few weeks early.
Brian had even expressed on multiple occasions that he wouldn't go down without a fight if ever confronted by police. A chilling statement that tragically played out in this deadly encounter.
You said that Brian shot a cop. How did you know that?
I guess I didn't know for sure, but I just assumed, considering the fact that I can't imagine why a cop would just randomly shoot my boyfriend in his apartment. There's been conversations that Brian and I have had where he said, if it came down to it, because he had a really abusive mother when he was growing up, and she called the police on him quite a bit. He basically kind of said, I'm not gonna go quietly. I never really took him very seriously. And so I guess my mind kind of just went to the worst possible scenario. With the way he was being so argumentative and so mean, I kind of just assumed that he did the worst possible thing he could do.
BCA crime scene personnel recovered a pistol, bullets, and cartridge casings from the apartment. All 3 officers were equipped with body cameras, which captured the critical moments of the confrontation. Through thorough research into public records and extensive investigation, MN Crime has compiled all the details of this case to ensure that the truth is presented to the public. In the days following the tragic shooting, law enforcement and the local community united to honor the memory of Deputy Josh Owen. With nearly 12 years of service under his belt, and as a veteran of the Minnesota National Guard, Owen's dedication to both his country and his community was undeniable.
After days of learning about his career and commendations, today, friends, family, those with whom he served, shared more with the community about the character of Deputy Joshua Owen.
Overall, leading Josh in Iraq was a great honor I will cherish for a lifetime.
As a soldier in both Bosnia and Iraq, Owen often answered a hero's call, risking his life for others.
A lot of good talk. A lot of memories.
I knew Josh because he helped me through a domestic violence thing many years back, and he's been helping a friend of mine who's currently in it.
Pam Welsh has lived in Glenwood most of her life. She and her family came out today to show officers that the community cares.
Well, to stop, and I want the kids to recognize and know that this is special.
Deputy Brody Merrill, who survived the shooting, later expressed his grief, sharing the deep pain of losing one of his closest friends.
Yeah, I did do CPR on Josh, and it did feel like forever. They always talk about you're tired, how it's tiring, exhausting, and it is. But in that moment, I didn't feel, I felt like I had one thing to do, and our local communities, those smaller rural areas, there's a lot of first responders that volunteer. When the shots fired call was given to dispatch, first responders were paged within seconds, as well as ambulance.
Even former President Donald Trump spoke about Owen, praising his service and sacrifice, further highlighting the impact of this tragedy on both the local and national stage.
Deputy Josh Owen last year. Very handsome. Josh was on his 44th birthday, right on his birthday. He was out for a steak dinner with Shannon and his 10-year-old son when he got a call there was a problem, a domestic disturbance. A short time later, Shannon got the news that her husband was shot and killed in the line of duty. Shannon, we grieve for your...
Man, do you know how sad that'd be? Where your partner go out, and go back, they're a police officer, and then y'all having dinner, having a good night. You and the kids, and he get that phone call, and he get that phone call, and they gotta go out and do their job or do their duties or whatever, and then they don't come back home, never again. That's sad, man. But once again, that go for people in regular lives too. You can leave the house and then that'll be it. You never come back home. You never sit back in that chair again. You never lay back in your bed again. You never be able to hug that person, kiss your kids no more, tell them you love them more. On the other side, you expecting that person to come home and they never come home. You're never able to hug them again, kiss them, or see them love on the kids or love on you or take those trips or just go out, come home, vent and complain about certain things, or just talking about their days. Like all that is gone instantly in the blink of an eye. That's why people out here now, we got to understand that life is really short and life is really unexpected when it comes to to our number being called to go up. And that's why we all got to really treat life and cherish it, because we only got one in this dimension. We only have one in this dimension. We got to make sure we live it to the fullest, and just be happy. Whatever you do, follow your heart, follow your mind, follow your dreams, Don't let nothing stop you for whatever it is that you want in life. Just keep pushing and keep going, And never let nobody tell you what you can't do. And also, I heard in the video when they were saying something about his mother really gave him a hard time, he was younger. That stuff do hurt people. That's trauma, that can really hold people to a feeling or a thought to where they hold it on, they wear it on their shoulders and they spew it out on other people because they don't know how to deal with it. Therapy is very important, is very important. And when people say things, try to take it as serious as possible, because you just never know what would have happened. And you know that they said, or you know that they were talking about it, and you allowed, like, you seen it happen, you seen it unfold, and that'll be something on your conscience that you'll always live forever with, you know. But yeah, let's get back to the video, the rest of the video, y'all. But once again, all I'm saying is just cherish life, cherish life.
Loss, and we know how great a man he was. The police officers told me, told everybody else how great a man he was, and we are immeasurably grateful for your sacrifice. I would love to ask Shannon to come up for a moment. Shannon, can you do that?
Thank you, everybody. Sorry you couldn't hear me that well earlier. I hope you can hear me now. I really appreciate you giving me a chance to talk about Josh. There's so many of them out there right now that need our help, though. We need to back the blue.
While the chaotic events in Cyrus have faded from the headlines, the actions of the officers that day and their sacrifice will stay etched in the memories of Minnesotans forever.
It is your boyfriend.
All right. That is the end of that video, y'all. That's the end of that video. I want to thank everybody for, watching the video with me. And let's just keep it going, all right? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it pushing. And, yeah, on to the next video. You feel me? On to the next video. But also, if you like the video, like it, comment, subscribe to the video or to the channel, and just leave something nice, leave something positive. Also, share the video, Let's bring awareness to the domestic violence, But yeah, this has been another presentation of Dave's channel. 444. Peace.